What's good, everybody? It's Joanna. I come back at you on another video. So for this video, I wanted to title this one, Expect Nothing and Receive Everything. So when you expect nothing, you are essentially opening yourself up to the world of possibilities, right? You're not putting yourself in a box saying that these things or this event has to happen this way or else like everything's going wrong, because you're not that smart. And yes, you might be a very bright and intelligent person. I'm sure you are. When I say you're not that smart, is because you're not smart enough to do God's work. You may think that something is the best for you, but you haven't experienced everything, right? You haven't seen everything that there is to see. So that may not be true. It may be true with like what all the information that you know, but you don't know everything that's out there. There's an entire world that's out there. There's more to life than you're aware of. So that's essentially what I'm trying to get at. People operate with expectations because we've been trained to just be logical creatures, and we believe we know everything that's best and how things should always fall, like how the domino should fall, but that's not always the case. Like sometimes events can unfold, and we all have stories like this where an event unfolded completely differently than what we had anticipated, but the end result and how it unfolded ended up being way better than we could have ever imagined, right? There's sometimes where we have plans and the plans may fall through, but then we end up having the most fun and enjoyable day that we didn't even predict, but it ended up being so fulfilling that it was much better than what we could have planned, right? This is what I'm talking about. And I have a perfect example to share with you guys. So I spent some time reflecting when I was thinking about this video topic, and the perfect example came to mind. I had a friend who essentially, we would go out, and it would be, to bars or to clubs, right? And this person essentially would say that, whenever they go out, that their goal is to essentially find the chick, right? Like to get their phone number, to, essentially try to find potentially like a partner to try to find a chick. The problem with that is when I questioned him about it, because for him, he operated with that expectation that, if I'm going out tonight, I'm gonna end up finding somebody. I questioned him on it because I told him, I asked him, I said, okay, like, that's fine that you feel that way, but what if that doesn't happen, right? And then he took a second, he stopped, and then he basically explained to me that he would be disappointed, that he would be like frustrated, that it would feel like he like wasted an opportunity. And I kind of explained to him that that was essentially like a shallow way to view it, because if we're going out as friends, right, you go out to the bars clubbing with friends, of course you may want to end up trying to find a partner or someone to mingle with, right? I totally understand that, right? If you're young, single, I get that. But if that's the expectation that it has to happen or that you're going to be disappointed, then you're essentially to some degree setting yourself up for disaster, because having that mindset, you're also not present in the moment. You're not fully grateful for everything that's happening. What I mean is that you're going out with your friends, right? There's no guarantee. Like this could end up being the last night. Like if you go go out with a group, that could very well end up being the last night you and that entire group goes out, right? As a whole, because you don't know if after that night someone in the group may experience financial hardship, or someone may have to relocate for a job opportunity, or to like help family, or to do something, like maybe someone unexpectedly finds out that they're going to be a parent and they can no longer be active, or that they get a new job and they work the night shift and they can't go out at night anymore, right? Like being hyper fixated in this case, right, to go out and being fixated and having the expectation that you need to find someone or else like it's a disappointment, then that's basically saying that your happiness is contingent on an event, a specific event happening or unfolding. For me, when I was having that discussion with him, right, I told him, I said, my only expectation when I go out is to have fun. Whatever that looks like, my goal is to have fun. And that's why I keep it open ended, I keep it broad, because I can have fun potentially meeting someone new, right? Like it could end up being someone that I find attractive, that could end up being a partner, right? Like that could end up classifying as fun. Or if I'm going out with my friends, then spending the time bonding, having conversations, or just sharing a drink and just catching up on life, that can also be classified as fun to me. Could also be after we go out, you know, at the bars, going out to get food and enjoying a meal together. That can also be classified as fun too. Like there's, for me, the when I went out, right, the only expectation I had back then and what I still have now is my only expectation is to have fun. And I keep that open ended because I don't want my happiness to be contingent on a very specific event that's happening. You know, have my happiness contingent on one specific event, right? That's being closed minded. You're just boxing yourself in, and you're potentially setting yourself up for disaster. Like, imagine having an opportunity to go out with your friends, to catch up with people you haven't seen for a while, and when you're going out, you're only hyper fixated on trying to get somebody's phone number, and then it doesn't happen, and then you go home frustrated. Like, that's not enjoyable. That's not fulfilling. It's essentially, yeah, it's literally a shallow mindset. And you spent, and all that time was spent, and you wasn't, that person just isn't present in the moment, isn't enjoying what they actually have, the company that they have, the people around them, right? This is what I mean with being able to tone down expectations, or just being open, because a lot of people need certain things to happen a certain way, or they're going to be disappointed. And it's like, why is that? Why can't you be open to the possibilities? Why can't you be open to the twists and turns or the bumps along the road? Because that's life. Life is always going to have unexpected moments come up. And what's most important is, how are you going to react when those moments arrive, right? Are you going to be frustrated that you had a certain thing in mind and it's taking you away from that thing? Or are you going to adapt and still have a smile on your face and just know that everything's going to be fine and everything is still going to work itself out? Even if it's not what you anticipated, that it's going to work itself out. You're free to choose how you decide that. I think a lot more people need to approach life with an open mind, right? Reduce their expectation or eliminate the expectation and say, you know what, like, I'm just going to live my life expecting to have a good time and expecting to have fun. Whatever that looks like, right? I want to be guided in that direction. You'll live a happier, more fulfilling life, because then you'll be open to what the universe and what God, the field, whatever label you want to put, has in store for you, rather than you just believing that you know what's best for you every single time, when that's not really the case, right? You're always going to learn, you're always going to grow, you're always going to experience new things, and you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what's out there in the world that you're just not aware of, that you can't imagine, that you just don't know exists. You're not aware of that. So if you don't set any expectations, then that means you're allowing yourself to be open to the possibilities that can help expand your mind and see things differently. So I brought that simple example of a friend of mine who, which I understand at the time, you know, like, we're young, we're single, right? Like, of course, we want to meet people and, you know, want to meet attractive people, and we want to eventually find love and find a partner and all these things. So, like, I understand that. But to me, that was like a moment that stood out to me, that I was able to reflect on. And, you know, when we had that heart to heart conversation, he understood my perspective, where I came from, and he actually appreciated the conversation that we had, because it helped change his perspective. Like, he began to realize that that wasn't the right way to approach it, because if things didn't work out right, then of course he would be disappointed and upset. And it's like, why would you be, if you were just out with your good friends and you spent quality time together and you still had a blast? Like, that expectation shouldn't supersede everything else, or like it shouldn't trump everything else that just happened in that night. Like if you focus on that, then you could essentially throw away a memorable night just off of that one minor detail alone, when what's most important is having the people around you that care for you and that want the best for you, right? And spending quality time with that, because you know that moments like that don't necessarily always come back around again. So of course the video title is expect nothing, receive everything, but it's also it's time to just understanding the importance of being present, being aware of the moment, and trying to make the most of the moment, and just looking to just have fun, to just enjoy it, whatever that looks like. Being able to accept, okay, like there may be things that happen that I'm just wasn't prepared for, but that's okay. I can still have fun. I can still enjoy what's going on. So just wanted the video to be brief. Once again, this video is expect nothing and receive everything. This is what allows you to open your mind up and your world to the possibilities that exist, because a lot of times there are things that exist, events that unfold in your life that end up being so much better than you could have ever imagined, or that you could have ever orchestrated yourself. So the world is an amazing place. Keep the smile on your face. Be open to the wonder and the joy of life, because that's what makes this experience so much fun. All these new things that can happen, all these new experiences to uncover, lessons to learn, right? Like just be open minded is pretty much what I'm getting at. So if you enjoyed this video, do leave a like, subscribe, comment down below any thoughts you might have, any of your personal stories that come to mind with the stories that I'm sharing, because I would love to continue the dialogue and to continue giving my thoughts on other topics that might spark ideas for me as well. So thank you for watching this video. Your support is greatly appreciated. Once again, this is Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys next time.